Have you ever wondered what separates those who achieve incredible success from those who don't? Is it luck, talent, or is it something deeper, something within our control? I believe it's the latter. Today, I want to share a story with you, a story that completely changed how I view success, value, and the true power of our own minds. This story is about a beggar who sat on a street corner day after day. He was skilled at his job, knowing exactly how to appear pitiful to tug at people's heartstrings. He'd been doing it for years, and it was all he knew. One day, a man walked by and, instead of giving him money, dropped a single, beautiful flower into his bowl. The beggar was confused, even a little angry. What was he supposed to do with a flower? He couldn't eat it, he couldn't spend it. The next day, the same man returned and again placed a flower in his bowl. This time, the beggar looked up and said, "Why do you keep giving me these flowers? I'm a beggar, I need money for food." The man smiled warmly and replied, "You are more than you think you are. You have hands and feet. You are a completely able person. Why do you see yourself only as a beggar?" Those words struck the beggar like lightning. "I'm not just a beggar." He looked at his hands, his feet. The man was right. He was able-bodied. For the first time, he began to question the identity he had accepted for himself. He stared at the vibrant flower in his bowl, and a new idea began to form in his mind. He went home that day and contemplated the man's words. He looked at himself in a dusty, cracked mirror and asked, "Who am I?" The next morning, he made a decision. He took the flower from his bowl, went to a nearby park, and picked 10 more, creating a small, beautiful bouquet. He returned to his usual spot on the street corner, but this time, he wasn't just sitting there with an empty bowl. He was holding the flowers. When someone walked by and gave him some money, he didn't just take it. He looked them in the eye, smiled, and offered them a flower in return. "Thank you for your kindness," he would say. "Please take this as a token of my appreciation." People were surprised, then delighted. They had never received something in return from a beggar. The experience was new, it was memorable. Word started to spread about the flower beggar. People weren't just giving him money out of pity anymore. They were engaging in an exchange. They gave him money, and he gave them a flower and a moment of genuine connection. His income started to grow, far more than when he was just passively receiving. He was no longer just a recipient. He was a participant. He was offering value. This small shift in his actions created a massive shift in his reality. He realized something profound. He wasn't a beggar at all. He was a merchant. He was a businessman. He was in the business of selling flowers and, more importantly, selling a good feeling. With this newfound identity, his entire demeanor changed. He stood taller. He spoke with more confidence. He was no longer asking for handouts. He was conducting transactions. With his earnings, he didn't just buy food. He saved up and bought a small cart. He started sourcing more flowers, creating beautiful arrangements. He moved from the street corner to a small stall at the market. He learned about different types of flowers, what people liked, how to care for them. He became an expert. His business flourished. Years passed. He became a successful and well-respected flower merchant, owning several shops throughout the city. He was wealthy, happy, and fulfilled. He had a family and lived in a beautiful home. He had completely transformed his life. One day, he sought out the man who had given him that first flower all those years ago. He found him and told him the entire story, thanking him for changing his life. The man listened, a gentle smile on his face, and then he said something that brought the story full circle. He said, I didn't change your life. You did. You were always capable of this success. I simply helped you see the person you had forgotten you were. The true miracle wasn't the flower. It was the moment you decided to see yourself not as a beggar, but as a merchant. This story perfectly illustrates a fundamental principle of success, the law of exchange. To receive, you must first give. The beggar's life was stuck because he was only in the mode of taking. The moment he started offering something of value, no matter how small, the dynamic shifted. The universe, in a way, responds to the value we create. But the even deeper lesson here is about self-perception. Your reality is a reflection of how you see yourself. The beggar saw himself as a pitiful man who needed charity, and that's the life he lived. When he started seeing himself as a capable merchant, an entrepreneur providing a beautiful product, his actions changed and his world transformed to match that new identity. Think about it in your own life. What identity have you accepted for yourself? Do you see yourself as someone who is just getting by, or as someone who is building a great life? Do you see yourself as a victim of your circumstances, or as the creator of your destiny? Your thoughts about who you are become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you have nothing to offer, you will act accordingly, and you will likely receive little in return. But if you recognize that everyone, and I mean everyone, has something of value to give, be it a skill, a kind word, a unique perspective, or even just a flower, you unlock a powerful force for change. Your greatness isn't determined by your bank account or your job title. It's determined by the size of your thoughts. If you think small thoughts, you will live a small life. If you think big, expansive thoughts, you will create a life to match. The beggar had the potential to be a successful businessman all along. The only thing holding him back was his own limited self-perception. So, I want to leave you with a question today. What flower can you offer to the world? What value are you holding within you that you're not sharing? And more importantly, who do you choose to be? Are you the beggar waiting for a handout, or are you the merchant ready to engage in a beautiful exchange with the world? The power to transform your life doesn't come from external forces. It comes from within. It starts with a single thought, a single shift in how you see yourself. Change your perception, and you will change your reality. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me share this powerful story with you. If this resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content to help you unlock your own potential. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What is the biggest takeaway for you from this story? Until next time, believe in yourself and the value you have to offer.